straight up Nance. Just Nancy Nance, not just Nancy Nance.
No, it is Nancy Nance. What are
It
you
is
talking
Nancy
about?
Nance. Oh my God, right? Like hot sweat, hot mess. Wow, that was fun.
But we got it sorted out. We're solution finders.
And I think that in the universe's utmost amazing, gentle way, it gave us the ability to show why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Because sacred ritual is so, so much an important part of my morning, noon, and night. It without ritual in my life, I don't know what lane I'm driving in. And not only do I know not what lane I'm driving in, but I can't stay in my own lane. And I think that as I'm growing older, I'm learning the importance of staying in my own lane. Boundaries. Boundaries. So when you think of your morning ritual, do you have one that's
Me?
sacred? Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
Well, when I sit up in my bed in the morning, I do that morning, stretch, and I say
Yeah.
thank you. I say thank you,
Yeah.
and then I get up and I have a glass of water and my vitamins, and then I go for a walk every morning at 6 o'clock or 6:30 ish, depending on the day, with my friend Chantel and her two dogs. That's my morning ritual. What about you?
Well, and when you say your morning ritual, for me, I do not drink water when I first get up. I do not take vitamins when I first get up. I pee. Well, no, I wake up. I do. I'm grateful that I'm alive, right? Like I do that. Thank you for being alive. I go pee immediately. Like it's a running
Okay.
dash, and then I hit the coffee maker. The smell of coffee, it's like, oh my gosh, any coffee will do. I'm not picky. I love my coffee and my quiet time. It's waking up before others that is a ritual in my life. It's very sacred. I need that alone time before I choose to become a part of the world at all. I've got to take care of me first. And then I start my gratitude, whether it's an internal list or an external list, and I share it. Sharing gratitude for me is super, super special. And I know that you do that because we share gratitude daily.
With each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
with each other. Yes, daily, daily.
We've been doing that
It,
probably for about 3 years now.
yeah, at
Two
least
for
3 years
sure.
with the gratitude. Yeah, and solid, no matter what, no matter where I am in the world, no matter what I am doing, I always share my gratitude with you. I think if there was a day that came and went without that, it would be that instant, like, Doug, where's Daph? Right? Did she fall off the planet? Like, oh my God, I'm lovingly concerned. What the fuck? Right?
I didn't get the big long list. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got a system for your gratitude. What is your system?
Well, my system for my gratitude is I mean every day I put the date and the happy magical Monday or happily marvelous Monday or what I give it some sort of name. And then I put the date and I always start with the things I'm grateful for that day for sure. But then I also put
Okay.
things that I'm grateful for that I know have just happened or are going to happen or I'm bringing manifesting into my life. Pardon me.
Yeah, as being grateful before it even happens.
Yeah.
Which took me a while because I'm like, okay, I'm so confused. You already got that? You're like, no. I'm just being grateful in advance. I'm like, whoa, mind blowing. Grateful in advance?
Why? How
Yeah.
does that work?
Yeah. To be grateful in advance. Like, I am so grateful that tomorrow when I go into the office, I will be training someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone, even if it's the plant.
Someone's getting
Yeah,
some
even
training
if it's
tomorrow.
someone's getting some training tomorrow. And that's all that I can control is me showing up. That's it. That's it. And I mean, that's still just a hope. There's a lot of things that can happen between now and then, but if I focus on all of that, then I'm just creating what I don't want. So I focus on what I do want in my life.
Yeah.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
And that's what I choose
Do
to
you,
do too, because when I can focus on
yeah.
me.
Now, what about your practice when it comes to smudging? Are you a smudger? Do you burn?
Sometimes I do, not usually though.
Yeah, see, I'm a super smudger.
There you go. So why didn't you tell me
I,
about your smudging? Why
I
didn't you
mean,
tell me about your
I
super
smudge.
smudging?
I smudge Ralph when he's in bed sometimes. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You are so bent out of shape and you're bugging me." So,
See, I use,
cedar.
yeah.
Oh, you've got a spray, don't you?
No, I use my laser. I use the Violet
Well,
Pro.
yeah, and then that in itself. But I love the smell of smoke. See, I'm still sorting through my habit of smoking because I still live with a smoker. So it's a bit of a challenge for me. So I've got several different things that I smudge with. So the cedar is very special for me because I used to pick cedar with my kids on the island.
Mhm.
And now that I'm out of that cedar, and I had a lot of cedar, but I'm out of that. So now I'm bringing in some things that are new, as well as some things that have been around for a long time in my life, like Palo Santo, which when I received my cards from Jeanette, I also received a stick of Palo Santo and I wrote love on it. And it's in my living room and it just brings me a tremendous amount of joy because for me, it is bringing in friends that helps me so much. And I've created such a dynamic group of friends, some that understand the sacred traditions and that honor them, others that prefer their more um,
Traditional.
traditional ways. When I was talking with a dear friend of mine, and she's a devout Catholic, and she didn't understand what I meant. And I says, well, that incense that the priests and their aides, I don't know all the proper terms, they use when they come down the aisle during a funeral or something special. I said, that's similar to smudging. It's using the
Yeah.
scent to invoke a feeling and help you connect with God, universe, source. Oh, interesting. So when we can help another person understand what we do in our lives, it helps bring us closer together, bridging that gap.
Yeah.
Because we all have gaps and we all have our own lane. So it's about driving next to somebody going, hey, what are you burning? Right? And why? And asking and being curious about life. Being curious about life. So what is the mostest, newest ritual that you have in your life? Do you have a new one?
The newest ritual I have in my life, I think, is the one that I do just before I go to bed.
What's that?
Well, my beautiful, beautiful friend Diana actually posted a picture a while ago. It was just different positive affirmations, but it's aura cleanse before bed. So of course I had to, print it out
Wow.
because, I it just made sense to me to do that. So if you like, I will read them out to you
Yeah.
because
Yes, yes, yes,
um
please.
because every night before I go to bed, I take a few minutes. I take that deep breath, and I read these out loud. I said, I release the residue of this day. And I take a deep breath in and out. I say, I cleanse myself of all negative energies, both none and both known and unknown, that I may have picked up along the way. And I take a deep breath in and out. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying. I
Wow.
clear my energy field of all frequencies that are not mine.
Oh, goodness.
I I am free. I am free of energy that drains me. I release all energetic attachments I have knowingly and unknowingly created today. And I usually do a sweet, right?
Wow.
With this cleansing, I start fresh. I feel lighter, brighter, and more positive with each breath. My sacred space, my space is loving, protected, and clear. I surround myself with a protective shield of diamond white light frequency. My energy is safe and protected at all times. As I sleep, my energy recharges itself. Tomorrow, I will wake up with fresh, rejuvenated, and vibrant energy. And then it says, I will only allow positive energy, thoughts, and vibrations to flow through me. And then I say, thank you. And I lay down and I go to bed.
Wow.
That's my newest ritual that I do.
I love that. I really,
I
really love
mean,
that.
I got my sacred geometry tools, like my rings, my neutralization ring, and my sun ring, which I, take all my crystals in and I put them in every night before I go to bed too, so that their energies are cleared as well.
Super cool. Super
Mm-hmm.
cool. I love that. I love that. I've begun wrapping things in a God blanket or
Yeah.
putting them in a God box. So I have an
Mm-hmm.
actual God box. Mine has a picture of New York on it. And I write on my yellow paper, yellow lined paper, always for that ritual. And I write down the things that are taking up space in my head. And when I write on the yellow paper, it gives me the permission to be really sassy with spirit. So I'll begin by saying, like, Lord, Thunder, and Jesus, and I'll go from there, or I'll speak directly to one of my guides or one of
Mm-hmm.
my guardian angels, and I'll assign them duties. So my one of my business managers in the sky, her name is Patty, and I'll say specifically, okay, Patty, this is what I need you to take into your hands and
Mm-hmm.
mold into whatever it is that serves me best, so that when I receive this, it
Mm-hmm.
shows up in the best possible way for me. And you know what that is because you love and cherish me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I have a question for you because not everybody necessarily knows who their guides and angels are. So maybe could you, as a sacred, when you first started learning how to connect with them, what sacred rituals did you do in order to help you to connect with them? Because that in itself is major.
Well, for me, oh gosh, there's so many layers and levels of that. For me,
How
I
did you
had to
start?
learn to turn off my mind. How did I start?
Yeah.
Um, that started for me. So when I began to hear my guide, it was the voice of my daughter. And that happened 3 days after she passed, which totally freaked me out because I thought I was losing my mind. So I reached out to a few of my friends who were also quite in tune, and they're like, no, she's talking. And the fact that you can hear her is quite spectacular. So then I started smoking a tremendous amount of marijuana so that I couldn't hear her. I'm like, that, nope, no, thank you. No,
That was
thank
the
you. And
ritual.
then that was the ritual. I would smoke marijuana so I didn't hear them. And then I would fall asleep and hear them so clear. So much would come through in my dreams. So that's when I started writing what I saw during my dreams and then sharing that journal with people to help me validate what it was that I was hearing and seeing, because I would get so many prophetic dreams. And then I'd be like, okay, so I need to tell you about this. And then as my life changed and transitioned and I began to green out when I smoked marijuana, I knew I had to find another way. Um, uncut, uncensored, Nance telling it like it is. But now I speak in my mind to them and I ask them to tell me who they are. But I don't always get a straight answer, but I'll sometimes get a memory of a person, or I'll see across my mind a ticker tape of their name. It's like that closed caption, but it's in my head. So, and then asking them. Yeah, asking. And then it shows up in the neatest ways, because sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm not sure if this is you or not. But then the phone will ring and it'll be like, oh my God, you'll never guess who I was thinking of. And I'm like, I'm going to say a name and I'll say the name and they're like, oh my God, how did you know? I'm like, well, I was just kind of doing the same thing, and it's like, that was so weird and so strange and crazy. And now it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And then once I began playing with understanding who my guides were, it was then, okay, now let's find out about my ascended masters. Who are you? So it's been quite a journey in understanding that as the days, go out. And now what I've started doing is playing with crystals and my grid. So my grid is very much the cube one.
Metatron's cube.
Metatron's cube. So I've got in the center, I've got I've got a cheat sheet. There's a name on the bottom of this one. Green calcite. Gorgeous, gorgeous green calcite. Because for me, staying within my heart space is extremely, extremely important. That is of the utmost for me. And then it's a matter of playing, because I've got that one at the center, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crystals that go around. So I believe I'm hitting like the 7 chakras. Is that right?
I'm
Okay.
not sure what crystals you have there.
Well, so I've got the center one, I've got the peridot. No, center one, I've got
Green.
the green.
You said green calcite.
Green calcite, and then I've got peridot on the green circle, sticking with the green theme. And then I know my chakras quite well. So then I just keep on making it really, really easy. And I just choose colors. I mean, amethyst for the win, because I want to stay calm and peaceful.
Right.
I always get confused by my black ones. So there's this.
That looks like shungite, because it's the pyramid.
Shungite.
I'm going to guess it's shungite.
Okay.
Because I think I was with you when
yes.
you bought that.
And what does shungite do? I know I need it there.
Okay, just give me a second. I mean, I'm good, but I'm going to look at my notes because there's so much information. Sure. Okay, so shungite is protection from harmful electromagnetic radiation. It improves air quality. It cleanses the water. It relieves heart difficulty, allergies, skin disease, arthritis, backaches, headaches, rheumatism, respiratory system diseases. It rejuvenates your hair and skin. It increases activity and immunity levels. It helps sleep disorders, and it regulates blood pressure. Wow. So that's a good one. Does
I
lots.
always think of it as a blocker, so it does do a
Yeah.
lot of that as well. Yeah. Well, and then there's
It
my other
blocks.
black. Sorry?
I said it blocks, but it also helps boost like your activity and your immune sensors too.
Nice. And my
So it
favorite, I
block.
call it this is my kryptonite. I think you call it
That's
kyanite,
black
right?
tourmaline. That's I think that's black kyanite, isn't it?
It's kind of got that
Yeah, it's kyanite.
spacey kyanite. I call it
Yeah.
kryptonite. You call it kyanite. And I
Well,
put
because it's
those around the
kyanite.
outside. Yeah.
Do you want to know what that one does?
Yes, please.
Do you want to know all of it? Okay. Blue kyanite. I like black kyanite, but blue kyanite's fun too. It's an excellent stone for meditation and attunement. It will not retain negative vibrations or energy, therefore, never requires clearing. It treats
Wow.
the urogenital system, adrenal glands, and parathyroid glands. It aids in disorders of the throat, brain, and muscular system. It helps to heal infections and lower blood pressure. Kyanite is a natural pain reliever. Love that. It aligns all chakras and the subtle bodies instantly. It provides balance of yin and yang energies and dispels blockages, moving energy gently through the physical body. Has a calming effect on the whole being, bringing tranquility. It encourages psychic abilities and communication on all levels. It
Mm.
drives away anger, frustration, confusion, and stress, and helps provide a capacity for linear and logical thought. It provides a stimulating energy, encouraging perseverance in and support of activities and situations which would normally reduce one's strength. It can help with connecting you to your spirit guides. It induces dream recall and can promote healing dreams.
Wow. Wow, those two are incredibly powerful though, right?
That,
And they're the ones that I usually use. And I for me, I intuitively use a lot.
yeah,
That's how I've picked my crystals over time. Ones that catch my eye, ones that capture my curiosity. I remember when I got the Lemurian quartz.
yeah,
That one I was just like, wow. That's when I was studying with Jeanette and learning about the different planetary influences that we have.
yeah,
And the Lemurian, I love my water people. So that one I put on because I do want to connect more with my planetary companions.
yeah,
Yeah, my planetary. And this one is super special for me. Desert Rose.
yeah. That
Desert
one,
Rose is just, I mean, it looks like something that just landed on this planet.
yeah. Oh, keep talking.
Yeah, Desert Rose is super great for me. Um, this beautiful one, this yellow
Citrine.
citrine. Now that
Citrine.
helps with willpower.
Citrine is amazing on so many levels for so many different things. Do you want me to tell you?
Please, yes, please, yes, please.
Okay. Citrine, happiness, prosperity, generosity, creativity, pleasure, protection, strength, alignment, confidence, stability, moderation, comfort, success, truth, goodness, warmth, digestion, assimilation, enjoyment of life, spiritual growth. Now, citrine energizes every level of life. It cleanses the chakras and opens the intuition. Uh, it attracts wealth and prosperity as well as success. It imparts joy, wonder, delight, and enthusiasm. It raises self esteem and self confidence. It stimulates the brain, strengthens the intellect. It promotes motivation, activates creativity, and encourages self expression. It enhances concentration and revitalizes the mind. It releases negative traits, depression, fears, and phobias. It's emotionally balancing, reverses degenerative diseases. stimulates digestion and spleen, stimulates digestion in the spleen and pancreas. It negates kidney and bladder infections. It helps eye problems, increases blood circulation. It detoxifies the blood. It activates the thymus and balances the thyroid, and it relieves constipation and removes cellulite. That's a good one.
And see, for me, thyroid is very, very helpful. My levels are good, but not great. I tend to do a lot of things. And my diet, even though I'm improving, sometimes I just eat too many cookies and I get in that wrong state of mind or whatever it is, because then I feel guilty because I ate the cookie, even though I enjoyed the cookie. And I'm working through those layers and levels and finding ways to self-love. And it's the reason I've got the rose quartz always.
Yeah, rose quartz is just a. Would you like me to tell you about what that one is?
Please. Yes, please.
It's a love stone providing self-worth and inner peace. It strengthens and balances the physical, heart, and the circulatory system. It relieves impurities in the blood fluids. It reduces high blood pressure, aids in chest and lung problems, heals the kidneys and adrenals. It alleviates vertigo. Good energetic support for those with leukemia. It increases fertility and protects mother from unborn fetus from miscarriage. Opens the heart to love. And I've never tried this, but it says it rejuvenates the skin. It is said that washing the face in water charged by rose quartz will help fade wrinkles and keep the skin youthful.
Well, and you see rose quartz now used quite often on the rollers. They've got the rose quartz rollers. And what I will do when I'm really trying to connect with somebody who isn't here, when I'm doing a reading for somebody and they're asking me to connect with their loved ones who've passed. If I'm doing a reading in person, I've usually got rose quartz stuffed in my shirt and my bra. It's just part of my ritual, because what happens is when I'm going to do a reading for someone, their people start talking to me before. And I did that today. I went and did a reading. I was just going to meet a friend, but I brought my cards because their person kept on talking to me. And I'm like, okay, I had not seen my friend since high school. And I didn't want to overwhelm her with bringing all of my things, but I brought my cards. Whoops. I brought my cards and put them in my box and had them in my vehicle. And then when I went into the coffee shop, I brought my box with me just so that I would have them available. Yeah. If the conversation led to it and there was an opening, because I respect boundaries at all times. Yeah. But I wasn't able to answer her question. So I thought, well, here we go. And I have my box sitting on the table. And then I opened up the box and chose a deck that allowed me to open up the gateway to talking to heaven. So
perfect. My mom actually has, I got it for her, a rose quartz mask. Do you have one of those? Because at one point.
Oh no, but I've seen them. They are epic. Wow. Yeah. Right?
It's all rose quartz. Somebody asked me, can you make one of those? I'm like, no, I cannot.
That's a lot of work. So if you can already find it out there, why recreate the wheel, you know? I think that's one of the things that I've learned. I can't know it all. I don't want to know it all. And that's why I have so many friends that are experts. And I mean, I'm popping up on the bottom, the different episodes that we've got coming up with all of the great people in our lives that have taught us so much and we continue to have relationships with. You know, it's just like expert after expert after expert that we're blessed to be with. And I left the bottom one on because I want to pull out my brand new cards that I got. Oh my God. I was so happy when I got my Awakening Avalon cards. Oh,
she'll drop a link in the comments below after when it posts again. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Because like there is just so much special in these cards.
Mhm.
So much, and the pictures.
Mhm.
Oh my God. I said today that what I enjoyed so much about them was their clarity and their beauty.
And their simplicity.
Yeah. Yeah. Super, super, super simple. When I did my first card pull, I did a 7-card spread for me, just me. And it was interesting because I'm shuffling and I'm like, okay. And then out dropped a bunch of cards. And I'm just like, pick them up, and they didn't scatter. They landed in a stack. So I picked them up, and there were 5. So I laid them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I smiled and picked 2 more, 6, 7, because the first card was joy. And I'm like, yep.
You can't make this up.
Yeah, can't make this up. And that's the beauty of it, is the ability for us to be able to replicate. I've done that before where I've drawn cards for people and they're like, I don't like those ones. Can you draw again? And I'm like, sure. Can we get more clear on the question? Can we stick with one question, please? You don't need to tell me what it is. Spirit knows. Let's stick with that same one question. I'll shuffle the cards. I'll lay out the 7 cards. And it's like, okay, those are the exact same cards. And I'm like, well, then can we stick with them? Because, oh my God, you're freaking me out. And I'm like, it freaks me out a little bit too when I get the exact same cards, right? Like it's Spirit's way of saying, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Not this is what you need to know, but this is what I am clearly trying to attempt to tell you. And that's where anybody has the ability. It's not a gift, it's an ability.
I hear Linda. I'm telling you, you got to listen.
Oh my God. We laugh so much. Linda, Linda, Linda. Which cartoon is that again? I stopped watching cartoons when I stopped smoking pot, right? It's true.
But when I get the same cards, it's like, okay, Linda, listen to me. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah. So I'm going to pull a card. Okay. I got mine. Can you pull yours?
Oh, do you want me to pull one too?
Yes,
Wouldn't that be
please,
epic if they were the same card? Wouldn't that
I
be epic?
know.
Okay,
Yep.
so what did you ask a question?
No.
Okay, no question.
I'm just like, what card do we need? And we is always the collective.
Yeah,
Always the collective. Yeah. Yeah. In this moment, on this day, whenever you're listening to this, right? In the big, the continuum of time and space where there is no time and there is no space, there is just now.
Okay, and everybody's seen that we didn't look at what when we were shuffling. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna turn around at the same time.
Yeah. Ready? Go.
I got all as well.
And I got root chakra.
Beautiful. So do you want to read your card? Do you want to read?
Well, ground into the earth. See, for me, grounding is something that I need to do often. I'm the barefoot princess, right? Like I've got, my feet are bare almost always. I mean, I don't last long in someone's home unless I take my socks off, because like I said, I'm drinking my ashwagandha and anise tea because I struggle with anxiety. And that's not something that a lot of people will see, because they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, I mean, my feet, quite often they're doing this cat thing, right? Because I'm so struggling with that. What if you don't like me and you think I'm crazy? Right?
But I mean, the root chakra, that's part of your sacred ritual.
Oh, so much, so much. I mean, working with the portal and the frequencies to help me unwind root chakra, root chakra, root chakra. And because I'm still struggling with my alignment, my physical alignment, It's an important place to spend time. Going out in nature. I did that again today. Me cooking. That's so important. I mean, and I cook enough for the neighborhood. So yeah. What and tell me about yours.
Well, this one it says all is well and it's time to relax. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I mean, I had an amazing weekend of relaxing. I went to visit my parents at their farm. And while I was there, I created
Mm.
many pieces of crystal healing jewelry. I'm always so inspired out there. Um, but yeah, basically the card is just saying, how are you going to relax? Because I mean, anybody who knows me that's watching this knows that I'm like you, Nancy. I have many things on the go, but I love what I'm doing. So it's just taking time to relax and knowing that all is well, and I don't have to have it all figured out. It was funny.
No.
My dad was asking me some questions today. You know, how is this going and that sort of stuff. And I told him, I said, some weeks is better than others, but all is well. So it's kind of funny that that
Well,
came up.
but it's very, very true, and I think that that's where there's a commonness among many of us. The struggle is real, and it is in the foundations of our life. The four legs of the foundations, like the financial, the like, oh my gosh, right? Like, I don't know about you, but when I look at the interest rates on my
Mm-hmm.
things, I'm like, holy shit. And then I go to book a flight and I'm like, okay, flight's good, but accommodations on now, my goodness, like, can I stay on your couch? And it's a lot. So for me, I'm learning to accept the way that it is
Yeah.
and manage my energies in whatever way I can. And I think that's why it's so wonderful that we're talking with Laura Lee next week about
Mm-hmm.
managing our energies, because finances is just a form of energy.
Yep. Totally
I can
is.
spend all my I can spend all my money, but what's more important to me than money? Time.
Mm-hmm.
What's more important than me to time? Family, friends. And the most important thing in my life is me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if I don't spend enough time with me and what I want, I become a raving lunatic.
Yeah, I've learned too that if I don't take care of me first, I'm no good to anybody else. For so many
No.
years, I tried to take care of everybody else, and I wasn't taking care of me, and I didn't do shit. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but now that I'm taking care of me, I can be there and hold space for others.
Hmm. Yeah. And that self-care component. I mean, it may be a bowl of popcorn, a Netflix, and a blanket and telling the whole world to just buzz off. Like,
Hmm.
leave me alone. I'm not here today. Like I've got on Wednesday, I've got some maintenance I need to do on my car because
Hmm.
I have neglected. Like, not just that, like, it not only needs to be cleaned, it needs, like, I mean, I've got fluids that I'm like, oh, I'm hitting that 100K,
Hmm.
and I'm like, rear differential, front differential, CVT, brake. Oh, I might need a loan, you know. But I know I've invested a lot in this.
Speaking of that, I know a good place that you can take your car for an oil change, and they'll do everything, and they'll give you a good deal. I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah. Deal, right? Because we need to know those things. We
Hmm.
need to know that. And I've called around. I called around to a few places for some pricing, and wow, what the heck's up with that? Like, I don't care what kind of fluid you think you need to use in my car. It's a cat guy. I didn't say Lamborghini. Like, what's wrong with you? Like $700 at one place, $300 at another. Am I
Well,
missing something?
the place that I recommend, They will look at everything and they will tell you if it needs to be done or not. Because I was supposed to go in for an oil change at a certain amount of kilometers, and I went in right
Yeah.
then, and they looked at it and they said, "You don't need your oil change yet. Drive it for another 1,500 kilometers, and come back." So I did, and I went back in, and they said, "You're good. Everything is still good. You don't need it yet." So that's why I want you to go there. Just saying.
Wow, that's a big one, right? And that's so important. When you can find people that support you, it's so, so wonderful. Because there's a big difference between someone that will help you and someone that will support you. And when someone will help you, they'll pick you up when you've fallen down. Someone that will support you will stand beside you while you get up and wait until you ask, or they'll offer. It's such a different relationship, but I'm enjoying learning more about that as I continue my course with the end of life doula. It's quite spectacular. I'm learning a lot about myself. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful how when we take courses, we learn so much about ourselves and different layers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Old me, new me, and the me that I want to become more of. There's a lot there. There really is. And knowing that every morning when I wake up, I am a different version of me, because the person that went to bed is not the same person that I woke up with. I mean, my skin, some of it fell off in bed, and you can tell if I have dark sheets, how much, it's gross. But there's always me who has the same humor.
Yeah.
When you ask people, what is it about me that you enjoy?
I say you're smart assery.
It's a nice, my smart assery. Well, and the way I can make up words and singing. Oh my God, when I do karaoke, I don't do karaoke, but I do love singing that song about Alice. And we laugh, right? 24 years just looking for a chance. And I had to honor some time for me. I worked yesterday. I was helping my guy screwing off the plates on the walls because he had a painting project that we're helping someone with. And when I got there, I knew that I needed to go and help him. I had a knowing. And when I went and I found out what the 6th degree of separation connection was, I was shocked. We both worked at Gainers.
There you go. So I just want to let you know that I got a message from somebody that's watching us right now, and she says she's so enjoying this. Just so you know.
Oh, that makes my heart sing. It really, really does, because we don't get paid for this. I mean, unfortunately, no one's paying us to show up. And not that I want to be paid for this. This is my act of service. This is my gift. This is my wonderful. We are human beings, and we love to be affirmed. So on that note,
what
do
am I
you
doing?
have your affirmation card?
My what?
Do you have your affirmation cards?
My affirmation cards. I've got lots of affirmations. Pardon me?
I've got my swear.
Oh no, my swear affirmations are in the other room. Do you want me to go get them?
Fuck.
I can go get
please.
them. Okay, hang on.
Yes, please.
Okay, hold on.
So the swear affirmation cards. We're going to break for an infomercial. Let's give lovely Laura Lee a little bit of a plug. Laura Lee is coming on next week, and we're going to be talking about energy management. And Laura Lee has so much that she has to teach. She is a beautiful mother, an amazing entrepreneur. She does makeup, she does photography, she does so much, and she created.
She does my social media.
Yeah, she does, and she helps you with your social media. That's right. And she helps me with scheduling my social media. So I haven't begun my scheduling yet. Wrote it down on my intentions for this week. And
Colton's home.
Gunner, he's calling me.
He's not allowed in the room when we do these. Just
I know he's not. I know. That would be super fun. We'll have to do a special on animals.
And how I hear what they're saying, you mean?
Yep.
Okay. Which one
Cool.
did you get?
Super cool. I am fucking kind and fucking compassionate towards myself and others.
And I am fucking healthy and vibrant in my body, mind, and spirit. I'm that bitch.
There you go. Right? Well, and it's beautiful because one of the sacred rituals that I have for me is ahimsa, which is loving kindness to myself first.
Mm-hmm.
I can be kind to me, then I can be kind to others. If
Yep.
I'm not being nice to me, and it's the inside. It's the inside. And I practice it so much from the minute that I wake up and look at myself in the mirror. You know, I start talking to myself. I'm like, whoa, honey, you look tired. Right? And it's like, I am tired. What have you done for self-care, sweetheart? Nothing. I've done nothing for self-care. Every single time I come home and it's like the laundry needs to be done and the maid didn't show up, right? And it's like, I don't know how I do all this.
Oh, wait,
And
I need to hire me.
I need to hire him. Maid didn't show up, right? Like, you fired the maid. I'm like, I never fired her. She hasn't been hired yet, right? Because I love taking care of my home.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times when, I do want the lasagna fairy to show up, right? So we all need that, and then I'm reminded to bring more fun and more joy into my life. So I do, like I bought a bag full of teddy bears at a garage sale. And this because I don't need any more distractions in my life, right? But he's going to help me when I start talking about monkey mind and how we can be taken away from what it is that we want to do because of those terrible conversations in our mind that are monkey mind conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've got a lot of exciting episodes coming up. We really, really do. Blessings, like so blessed. So Laura Lee, and then Janet, the whiz kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Janet's up north now.
I think she's up in Yellowknife. Yeah. Yellowknife.
Okay. Yeah. Right? I always think of her whenever there's a first responder. I think of Janet and all the amazing that she's taught people in her life, including us. And then the great Hazel Butterworth, who helped me understand Reiki and intuitive practices, and how to pause, stay in the present. Yeah. Stay in the present. What a gift today is.
That's why it's called the present.
Yeah, that's why it's called the present. And then Jeanette. It's a pretty spectacular time that we've got ahead of us, and we're getting close to October. Thanksgiving, the whole month of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I mean, we get to do all these things. What a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
As we juggle being wives, mothers, daughters, workers,
business owners,
right? Like the hats, all the hats that we wear. Yeah. So sacred ritual. Without it, I am nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a big hot mess, and yeah, but I
Fun to
don't
be
want.
around.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's pretty spectacular when you do realize the value that these little things can bring into your life. And I mean, journaling for me is a big one. When you began your writer's journey, was journaling important to you?
No, I hate. Okay, like you don't drink water in the morning. I don't journal. I I don't like. I mean, I try really hard, and I'm grateful for the book that you bought for me that says less fucking attitude, more fucking gratitude, because I still try every day to jot something down that I'm grateful for, or that I'm manifesting, or. But journaling for me, can't. No,
Yeah.
that's a no go for me. But for you, on the other hand, all the power.
Oh, a day without writing is a day without breathing, right? Like I cannot not write. Um, it's just yeah. I mean, I've got a journal in my I've got one in my every bag, and I mean, we went out to Oktoberfest yesterday, and someone's like, I don't have a pen, and I'm like, I got a few, right? Because I always have that. And it's that tangible. I need to touch that. And yet sometimes I know that I need to not write at all and just simply be, and that's where for me, having a hot bath with a
Mhm.
crystal balm. I've got these beautiful bath bombs that my friend Karin makes for me. And that's where I get my Oralite 23 from. And I hop in the bath and just soak and keep on running that hot water,
Mhm.
listening to the football game or whatever else happens to be on the TV.
Yeah, that's where the all is well comes in, right?
Hmm.
All is well.
All is well. All is as it is, which can be a real struggle when you're going through a difficult time, right? Like all is well. I just lost my job. I don't have a place to live. I've been diagnosed with cancer, and my ex-husband just showed up at my doorstep, and you're telling me all is well.
I don't think so.
But it is what it is, right? And I mean, all I need to do is spread some sparkles everywhere and I'm fine, right? I mean, like I've had days where I'm sparkles, right? And I'm suddenly transformed, or I realize that maybe I just need to pick up the phone and call a friend. That
Mm-hmm.
can be a sacred ritual too. Or going to a friend, or going to church on a Sunday, going to Auntie Betty's on a Sunday because Auntie Betty makes the best pie. Um, there's no judgment here. Maybe it's picking up the phone and calling up a girlfriend and gossiping because that's what fills your cup. Fill it up. Do what you need to do.
Huh. Goes back
Do
to
what you
you
need
do
to do.
you.
That's right. You do you, which is right. Like, and I mean, and it just keeps on going over and over and over. These similarities in our day.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, yeah,
I
it's
am so
beautiful.
grateful for the opportunity to have been asked to do this with you. I really, truly am.
It's great,
I,
isn't it? We watched other people and we sat in the background for a very, very, very long time. And it just became insatiable. It's like, I think I really want to do this. I think I
I,
really want to do this.
and yeah, I think it's about sharing, because sharing is caring, and because we
Mhm.
care so much, we want to share the people that have helped us in our lives,
Oh, there's so many too. I mean, there
right?
are so many, so many. And some that to have the ability to share how they've touched each of us in ways that we didn't expect. There's some, and we're not just interviewing women, we're interviewing men as well. And that time is coming. It just hasn't happened. Like, we haven't released those ones yet, so it's pretty special because there are some men in our lives that have taught us a lot.
One step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time. And I think that's one of the things that, as a parent, think about that. What have your children taught you?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah. What have your children taught you? Yeah. Patience, perseverance, determination, dedication. We both have very determined children, who have all struggled. All of my children struggled in school. All of them. Yeah. Lots of similarities in our worlds, as with everybody who's listening.
Right.
I mean,
there's so much.
we could bring our husbands on.
That would be fun.
How
long do you think they'd last? Maybe 5? We could take
click
wages.
the link. Click the link, babe. Oh, but if we started talking about things that they enjoyed, they would take over the entire show.
Right? You could tell Doug to talk about hunting, archery.
Or what is it like living with a woman who's tuned in and tapped into spirit all the time?
That would be an interesting show.
Yeah. Ralph's got a song that he sings, "Nobody knows what it's like to live with Nancy." And I'm like, oh, stop it. But it's a challenge, and I appreciate the strength. Yeah.
See, that's how we'd have to start the episode. We'd have to start the episode by saying thank you for being our partners. Thank you for being strong enough to stay with us. And
ride that bull into the sunset. Yeah.
Doug used to be a bull rider, Just saying.
I know. And if we could get Dougie, my favorite Indian, on the show, wow. Anything is possible, right? Anything. I would just have to, I could go to find Dougie. He's in America somewhere. Could you imagine that? Oh my gosh, where's Nance? She went to America to find a bull rider. Because I love the rodeos so much. And then there's those times where I'm like, okay, whoa, right? One day at a time. Yeah, because there's only so much, right? And that's where I think it is important, when you do a sacred ritual, to segment your life for a week. It's a week. Just live your life on that kind of a plan. Yeah, plan for a month and hope for a year. But remember that tomorrow is that gift.
Right. And I actually had somebody ask me tonight something about, she's dealing with something, and so I was talking and asking her questions, and I recommend, and I don't normally do this myself as a sacred ritual, but I know that there's many people that do the Ho'oponopono.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even say it properly. How do you say it?
Ho'opono.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But I recommended that.
Yeah. I recommended to a friend doing EFT, the tapping.
Yep.
Right. And I was walking through and I was explaining how I did the tapping, how I was trained in the tapping. I tapped, and how it would help me process. Yeah.
I know it too.
So good. It's so good, and it's helped me. And I know, like, sometimes when I'm struggling at work, I'll catch myself and I'm just like massaging that spot, okay? And I got that, right? And I'm massaging the other spot and I'm just like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working through it. And I'm working through it and I start to just feel a little bit better. Just a little
Yeah.
bit. And nobody even knows that that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing, right? Nobody. And that's where we don't need to advertise what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
our life can become a walking billboard. You know, you are your own brand, that kind of thing.
I like to think of it as being a lighthouse, shining the light for others to find their way through the darkness.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Life is a lot of fun. It really, really is. Thank you for all of this amazing time. Thank you for your patience in getting this up and going. I don't know what happened.
it
It
was the
just did.
universe.
It was the universe. So until tomorrow, my friend, have sweet dreams. And I will be using that beautiful ritual that you shared um, for a nighttime practice. That's a gooder.
This one here. Here. Oh wait.
Yeah,
We're gonna hold it so you can
that's a
take a
good.
screenshot of it. That.
Maybe you can take a screenshot and post it tomorrow on your page.
I could do that too. I could do
Right?
that too.
Lots of options. Lots of
The
options. So
possibilities are infinite.
yeah, infinite. No kidding. So just for today, thank you for choosing joy, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace
Take
out.
care.